Health Minister's proposal to push for Ayurveda in institutes like AIIMS has sparked off a fierce debate. Many doctors are unhappy, saying there isn't enough research to back up the claims, while others have called it a political move by the BJP. The question is whether these concerns are justified. Bhairavi Singh has more.
Now all over the world it is accepted that holistic medicine has to be the order of the day, and there has to be an integration between all the systems of medicine.
Union Health Minister Harsh Vardhan defending his decision to have an Ayurveda department in each of the 6 new AIIMS coming up countrywide. His plan is to give not just Ayurveda but also yoga, homeopathy, Unani and Siddha pride of place in the AIIMS system. Though the minister has himself described the decision as an attempt to get global acceptance for the ancient Indian system as evidence-based medicine, support for it from the traditional medical fraternity even within India has been far from forthcoming. Ayurveda supporters, though, have welcomed the government's plan.
There are a number of situations where Ayurveda has been shown to be very effective. People's confidence will grow only if there is evidence.
As such, it's a philosophy, and we integrate both as well modern medicine as well as Ayurveda in our practice, and we are getting very good results.
Interestingly, the government's plan was first announced by the minister when laying the foundation stone of Yoga Guru Baba Ramdev's Global Museum of Ayurveda and Herbal Medicine in Haridwar. Ramdev, under investigation for tax evasion by the previous government, is the best-known proponent of Ayurveda in the country today and runs a drug firm, Patanjali, an Ayurveda firm. Harsh Vardhan's colleagues in Parliament allege that the plan has more to do with politics than science.
Under the Act already, allopathy, Ayurveda, alternative forms of medicine are all recognized. But if the object is to kind of give a slant to it, and I am not saying at the moment because I have not seen the context of the statement, then it would be wrong.
There are also concerns that this may increase crosspathy, the practice of one system of medicine by a person trained in another, something that was banned by the Supreme Court in 1996. With Bhairavi Singh and Sandeep Phukan, Ankita Mukherjee for NDTV.
So is it okay to go the Ayurveda way? It's quite an interesting debate, and joining us on the panel this evening we have Dr. Naresh Trehan, the founder chairman of Medanta. Also with us Dr. Avnish Seth with Fortis Healthcare. Naren Kohli still here in the studios with us, and also joining us tonight from Bangalore, Dr. Gigi Gangadharan, the medical director of the Institute of Ayurvedic and Integrative Medicine. Let me ask Dr. Trehan first, that many doctors at AIIMS who you speak to privately will say that the problem with Ayurveda is that it's not substantiated probably by modern day research. Now, do you share those concerns? Do you believe that what Dr. Harsh Vardhan is proposing is something we're not ready for?
No, it's not that simplistic. The question is, I can speak with some authority because I am the highest practitioner of modern medicine, that modern medicine is effective most of the time. It has certain limitations. One, the principles are that either we will give a poison to kill the bacteria or cancer, or we will do surgery to remove the diseased organ, or we will shoot it with the most powerful radiation beam to kill cancer cells. Very effective, very invasive to the human body, and expensive. So if you juxtapose it now, India, where we have 1.2 billion people, where even all this stuff is invented in the US and Europe, where America cannot afford its own medicine. We have a compulsion here to say, what is it that will bring that level of medicine or cure or prevention to our people that they deserve? Every man standing on the ground deserves that. So, one, Ayurveda is not a new science. It functioned in this world for several thousand years and kept people going. The limitations are definitely there in the sense that we don't understand the actual mode of action, the active ingredient, and what predictably it will do. So the issues with us right now are that, one, I think that there is a huge, and we actually have Medanta, part of Medanta is a huge Ayurvedic research going on to integrate the two or fuse the two medicines, because I believe that if we do the proper research, if we go through all the toxicity and the efficacy of Ayurveda in different forms and combine them with modern medicine, we may have a new medicine coming out of India, the new era medicine, which will be equally or more effective than modern medicine. it will be imminently
So
less
interesting
invasive
point.
and
You're
much
saying there
cheaper.
needs to be an open mind on this, and
Absolutely
you're
not.
already trying to do that. So, Dr. Seth, I believe you have some very strong concerns on this issue. What are your concerns? Because Dr. Trehan says that you need to have more research into this. Yes, there are limitations, but maybe there is something that can come out of this integrated work. What do you think?
See, I am for holistic medicine, and as Dr. Trehan said, if we have a proper research and we can show some randomized trials showing benefit, why not? But my concern is, I am a gastro and liver specialist, and I get patients with side effects because of Ayurveda. I remember at least 4 patients who have come to me with severe pain abdomen, 20, 30-year-olds, they go undiagnosed for a long time, and then you test them out and you find that they have been on some Ayurvedic supplements. You send it for testing and you find there's heavy metal, lead poisoning leading to anemia, liver problems. So that's my problem. If it is properly researched, the contents are displayed properly, the side effects are spoken about, I'm okay with it.
What the health minister is proposing then, is that such a bad idea? If it's something that is practiced in an institute like the AIIMS, or you think it's too soon for that?
See, the drugs are available across the counter, and proper research has to be done, whether it is AIIMS or Medanta, whoever is working on it, we need to pick it up, go on a randomized trial and prove that it is beneficial.
Okay, so you have those concerns. Dr. Gangadharan, you've heard Dr. Seth's concerns there. In fact, those are concerns I believe that, other countries have also voiced. I believe in Canada, the issue of the lead content that you were talking about, for instance, that has been an issue. So, Ayurveda is something clearly that a lot of Indians have faith in, and maybe others as well. But scientifically, it's something that still raises many question marks. Dr. Gangadharan.
See, let us contemporize the issue. The issue today is that whether a single system is capable of addressing the contemporary needs of the society. It is clear that it is not. And globally, when you look at, there is a very big effort being taken by people who are working in the frontiers of medical research to look at systems other than biomedical systems that are prevalent. We have not done enough justice to systems like Ayurveda to see that how it is effective. We say that there is no evidence. I should say there are lakhs and lakhs of evidence which has gone undocumented the way the modern science needs it. And if you look at today's India scenario, even in the villages of India, in institutions of other than governmental organizations, people are coming, and 80% of the population is going to Ayurveda and such Ayush system for first reference. That is a fact. Only thing is, for last 60 years, if you look at the budgetary allotment for Ayurveda or research documentation, it is a less than 1% of the total health budget. So you cannot expect to do things which are expected of a science without funding it. There is not even a single institution in this country at the level of All India Institute of Medical Science or IIT or IIMs which can get into the core issues, core expectation of Ayurveda. The more work is happening shamefully in other countries than India. We are not looking. You look at the areas of funding NIH, you look at the work that's happening in Sweden,
you believe that
look
there
at the
needs
work
to be
that's
much
happening
more
in
funding?
Germany and other European countries.
So you're saying the reverse, that there needs to be
there is
much more funding and much greater support
especially
for Ayurveda and for the research. But Dr. Seth, you wanted to explain those concerns, to Dr. Gangadharan, because he's saying, and as I think what Dr. Trehan was also saying, that there are lakhs of people in this country on a daily basis who believe in Ayurveda and for whom this does work for them. It works for people, and it's often their first choice.
Ayurveda has been in use for about 5,000 years, but where is the science behind it? We know that a lot of people are taking the medication, but whether they are getting improvement on their own or the medicine is working, what are the side effects? We need to do lots more before we can actually prescribe it or integrate it into my system of medicine.
See, some of the concerns are correct, especially when it comes to using metals, heavy metals. The basic thing was the old science of Ayurveda said that bhasam, actually what they are supposed to introduce is a huge process which goes through several weeks of heating and cooling and stuff like that, which is not done anymore, and the companies are commercializing this product and actually selling them, and that's not right. But let it not derail the whole system, like I said earlier, we have done some systematic research on it in Medanta in the last 4 years. We have seen randomized huge improvement in neurological diseases. So much so that Dr. Shintuk from Germany has collaborated with us. They've created a full hospital and they're doing research on neurology and Ayurveda. There are many elements of Ayurveda which do not contain metal but herbal medicine. There's a lot of research in Indian institutes actually available. The IIIM in Jammu has developed a molecule which is going through the safety trials right now. If it comes to on trials proves to be positive, it will improve the efficacy of cancer drugs by 2x. That means you could reduce the cost to a patient by half. So there are many potentials. If you shut your mind out because of fear of another science coming into your field, I don't think we'll make any progress.
That's an important point. Nalin, you wanted to come in because of the political concern. Everything is political when it comes to you all.
Because I have to say this is a fascinating discussion and I have to compliment each one who's been speaking on it. It's absolutely a delight to go through this today. One of the non-fighting debates. Yeah. So, genuinely, and I think it's really a delight. I'll tell you why. Because I'll speak first from personal experience. As a patient, I've used Ayurveda, homeopathy and allopathy. And in the last few years, I've been using a lot of Ayurveda. Now, what Dr. Seth is saying is right. There are concerns about heavy metal use and there are also concerns about quality. On the other hand, to just reject it and not have an open mind, there are examples in the West where people are working, for example, on therapy in terms of what does meditation do and what is the long-term implications on, say, health management. And this is being documented. So if this is to lead to as what Medanta is doing or as out in Bangalore they are doing, if it leads to us exploring and looking at it in terms of cost benefits, in terms of efficacy, as has come up in the debate, and also in terms of maybe we have a new way of going forward. Because on the other hand, every second day, as a layperson, we open the newspaper and see drug resistance as a subject. You're talking of new antibiotics and billions of dollars needing to be pumped in there for research for even more potent antibiotics to take on the kind of diseases we are facing today.
No,
so I think we need an open mind.
The question of an open mind, have you closed your mind to
no,
a different kind of science?
I haven't. I'm okay with what is being said. But again, I have a concern. We have to spell out what are the diseases where we can try Ayurveda and where we can't. If you have a patient with tuberculosis, we have examples who have been on Ayurveda and they may not survive. If somebody has appendicitis, somebody has clear-cut indications for surgery, I don't think in 2014 we should go to Ayurveda. If we have some diseases like diabetes or something, chronic disorders, I would agree. Acute emergencies, no. So we need to specify to the common man that you go this way and you don't go this way.
I think what worries me though is that you're very respected doctors and I respect both of you greatly, and yet you have a very different opinion on Ayurveda. That confuses people.
I'll give you the difference. It's very simple. You don't use Ayurveda or homeopathy for everything. They have their own limitations.
What would you not use it for? Let me ask you that.
Like you're saying, if somebody has developed blockages in their arteries to a level 80-90% and they are at risk of getting a heart attack or dying from it, you don't try Ayurveda or homeopathy, and that is where it has been abused by marginalized people. I give you the two principles which you must understand. One is that modern medicine says you have a problem, I have the cure, I will give it to you from outside and kill it somehow or the other. We are not using the power of the body. Ayurveda, on the other hand, its basis is to strengthen the body, to strengthen the immunity, to be able to fight disease. So I'm saying my principle is simple. If there is a cure for infection of the throat, we give a drug, amoxicillin, 3 times a day. What will happen? Within a week, 95% or 97% of the people will get cured. 30% of them will have severe gastrointestinal side effects like diarrhea and all that, and 100% will have a hole in the pocket. So if there is a drug, an Ayurvedic remedy which strengthens the immunity of the body and you can reduce the dose. Let me finish here. And you reduce the dose of antibiotic to half. You combine the two, it is like Army and Air Force working together. We could actually, hopefully one day, prove it with these trials that you can synergize the two to get a much cheaper cure.
Though on which where you should use it and where you shouldn't, because I think again there's a lot of interest in that. Because I often read about and you hear about people, say with cancer, who will go to a healer, an Ayurvedic healer, or a doctor, or whatever you call them, and you know, they believe that they will heal.
I won't use
that.
it for cancer.
You wouldn't use
I
it for
won't
cancer?
use it for cancer today. Maybe as a supplement, yes.
Okay. Not for blocked arteries.
Second, you know that we have for rheumatism, for rheumatoid arthritis, for irritable bowel syndrome, we don't have any cure. We'll only give steroids.
Yeah.
And some of the
so there Ayurveda will work.
That's when I'm trying to say that there is science available. We should look at it carefully and bring it in after proper due diligence, not just to say that the Ayurvedic doctor can cure all or allopathic can.
Dr. Gangadharan, would you agree that Ayurvedic medicine has to be, it can't be for you know, every disease, every ailment? I think what Dr. Trehan then therefore says sounds very reasonable. That, you know, there are diseases and there are ailments that you can treat and others that you can't. We're not ready for that.
I think we should break the silos. You know, we should come out of silos and break the walls. And there is a very clear-cut areas of expertise for Ayurveda, like non-communicable diseases, chronic metabolic disorders, diseases of functional nature, which have got proven remedies, and there are evidences documented in Vaidya's chamber on these conditions. On the other hand, I should salute modern science for their acute system management. Infectious disease management, we should not fight each other. What we need is that can this both system together contribute to society a better system, and integrative medicine, taking goodness of all the system and give it to the people so that the people get benefit. This is not told by a person like me. See, look at the global scenario. Everywhere the pluralistic medicine is in the anvil. People are working on that. Even the term of integrative medicine has changed to new medicine, which is telling that a combination of best of everything is the order of the day. We cannot anymore say there are two systems should work in isolation. If you look at the conditions like chronic metabolic disorders, there are evidence. And I want to add one more thing. The heavy metal has been a big problem for Ayurveda. We should understand Ayurveda puts excellent standards to make sure that the end product of metallic products are not at all harmful for the body. On the other hand, a project
if that was the case, sir, then doctors say would be getting patients with side effects from those metals, which have been documented to be a problem. So I think those are issues. No, but I think there are question marks. If you make
the medicine the way told in the Shastra,
I'm not an expert here. You guys are the experts, but I think what Dr. Trehan said is about where you use it and what you use it for.
I think it's a very good discussion.
It may work for something, it may not work for something.
On the other hand, there are proofs that...
Sir, one moment. I just have the last word.
What I was saying, Professor Gangadharan.
Sir, one moment, sir. Yes.
Well, what I was trying to say is, I think that's it. You know, the misuse can take place because of also the lack of knowledge by a practitioner. It's not that we don't necessarily see bad examples of callous behavior or lack of standards across the spectrum, including, I mean, from every class. It's not only doctors. So I think we should remove that. But I think what is the main point, and I think I'm happy to see it on this panel, is break the silos, as he said it. As Dr. Trehan was saying, let's research in a structured way, see where it works. And as Dr. Seth was saying, what are the concerns? If we can eliminate that, we may have something to offer the world.
All right, very interesting discussion there tonight.
I wish our political discussions could be like this.
I know, it's nice to break away from a political debate and have something like this to talk about instead. Thank you very much to all of you for coming in and talking about this tonight.